Few dynasties have left a greater mark on English history than the Tudors. They ruled for little more than a century, yet reshaped the kingdom forever. At the heart of their story stands one man, King Henry VIII, a ruler whose search for love, power, and a male heir changed the very soul of England. He broke his marriage, defied the Pope, and created a new church, all for the sake of his desire. 6 wives, 6 destinies. Each woman played a part in shaping the legacy of a king who would stop at nothing to secure his name. This is the Tudors. Love, power, and betrayal. Henry VIII was never meant to rule. Born the second son of Henry VII, he inherited the crown after the sudden death of his brother, Prince Arthur. To preserve England's alliance with Spain, Henry married Arthur's widow, Catherine of Aragon. Their marriage began with promise. She was noble, wise, and loved by the people. But after years of trying, only one child survived, a daughter, Mary. For a king obsessed with legacy, this was disaster. Henry believed God had cursed his marriage, and in time, his heart turned elsewhere. At court, Henry met Anne Boleyn, intelligent, ambitious, and unwilling to be just another mistress, and demanded marriage, not scandal. When the Pope refused to annul his marriage to Catherine, Henry made a fateful decision. He rejected Rome and declared himself supreme head of the Church of England. This act, known as the English Reformation, forever changed the country's religion and politics. Henry married, and in secret, Catherine was banished, still calling herself the true queen until her death. Love had now become rebellion, and Boleyn gave birth not to a son, but to a daughter, Elizabeth. Henry's disappointment grew into resentment. Court factions turned against her, and rumors spread of betrayal and arrogance. In 1536, Anne was accused of adultery and treason, charges many believed were false. She was executed at the Tower of London, facing death with calm dignity. Her final words still echo through time, "I pray God save the king." Her daughter would one day rule as Elizabeth I, the greatest Tudor of all. Just days after Anne's death, Henry married Jane Seymour. Gentle and obedient, Jane brought Henry peace, and finally, a son. In 1537, she gave birth to Prince Edward, the future Edward VI. But tragedy struck again. Jane died shortly after childbirth. Henry mourned her deeply, calling her his true wife. He would later be buried beside her, the only queen to share his tomb. Henry's next marriage was political, to Anne of Cleves, a German princess. But when he met her in person, he was unimpressed. He called her the Flanders mare, and the marriage was swiftly annulled. Still, Anne kept her dignity. She became known as the king's beloved sister. Then came Catherine Howard, young and lively, but reckless. Accused of adultery, she was executed in 1542, barely 19 years old. Henry's final wife was Catherine Parr, wise, kind, and devoted. She cared for the aging, ill king and helped reconcile him with his daughters, Mary and Elizabeth. Catherine outlived him, the only one to do so. When Henry VIII died in 1547, he left behind a changed kingdom. He had torn England from Rome, founded the Church of England, and redefined monarchy itself. His children, Edward, Mary, and Elizabeth, would each shape the future in their own way. But behind their triumphs lay the shadow of their father's reign. A man who sacrificed everything for love and power. 6 wives, 1 dynasty, and a story that still captivates the world. In Henry's tale, we see the eternal conflict between heart and crown, between the man who loved and the king who ruled. His reign was both glorious and tragic, a story of passion, faith, and destiny. This was the Tudors. Love, power, and betrayal. If you enjoyed this journey into Britain's royal past, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Legends of Britain for more true stories from the pages of history.